Hey guys, let's do a pregnancy bump update. So I am now, get this fucking baby out of me, weeks along. The baby is the size of a fucking whale and what sounds like at least 5 painful stitches. My main symptom is
3 men accused of killing a pregnant woman are now in jail.
What would it take for someone to kill a pregnant woman and her unborn child? Grandma, someone shot my mommy. The 6-year-old making that call had no idea he just exposed the most calculated betrayal in Ohio history. His 9 months pregnant mother, India Kinamore, was found shot to death, face down, in their Hidden Meadows apartment complex in Cincinnati, Ohio. March 4, 2023. She was supposed to give birth that same day, hours away from meeting her newborn baby boy. And the man posting heartbroken tributes online? He's the one who orchestrated it all. He is the father of her unborn baby. For 2 years, Kayvon Warren walked free, walking around Cincinnati while his girlfriend and baby lay buried in Spring Grove Cemetery. After allegedly arranging the murder of his girlfriend India Kinamore and their unborn son, all because he didn't want another child. He attended her funeral, comforted her family, stood beside her mother as she wept. The same man who allegedly left the door open for his friends that night. 2 years later, on August 21, 2025, police finally arrested him and his friends who conspired to murder India and her unborn son. Every parent watching this needs to see how this ends, because the person who destroyed this family was the last person anyone suspected. What would make a man choose death over fatherhood? What turns a father to be into a murderer? What kind of monster would end a life they helped create? This is just the beginning.
I thought that Kayvon was a nice, upstanding gentleman. And he turned out to be a complete opposite, a monster. Because only a monster would do something like this.
Welcome to Mind Twist True Crime Stories. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel and turn on the notification bell icon. This story takes us to Cincinnati, Ohio, a city of contrasts. The Hidden Meadows apartment complex sits nestled in Colerain Township, a place where 26-year-old India Kinamore chose to build a life with her 6-year-old son.
I think I'ma just be single until Jesus come, and then I'ma just ask him, do he want to be with me? Because at this point, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm about to cry just thinking about it. I don't know what the fuck to do.
Her social media painted the picture of a young mother embracing life's challenges. Dancing videos with her son on the beach, selfies showcasing her growing baby bump. A woman finding joy in motherhood. Kayvon Warren appeared in these snapshots too. The 30-year-old father of India's unborn son. Their maternity photo shoot showed him cradling her belly, his hand placed protectively over his future child. The camera captured smiles. What it missed was intent. He didn't want another baby, prosecutors would later reveal. The photos told one story. His private messages told another. But why get intimate with her if you don't want to be a father just yet? What were you expecting to happen? She embraced motherhood again, counting down the days until she would meet baby Kieran. Meanwhile, investigators say Kayvon was counting down to something else entirely. The relationship seemed normal from the outside. Friends saw nothing unusual. Family members had no cause for alarm. India's mother Terry later described Kayvon as someone she thought was a nice, upstanding gentleman. He turned out to be the complete opposite, she told the court. A monster. What changed? What transformed a seemingly supportive partner into someone who allegedly plotted the death of the woman carrying his child? The scheduled induction date approached. March 4, 2023. A day meant for new beginnings became the deadline for a deadly plan. Phone records would later show messages between 3 men, planning her funeral, discussing what prosecutors called a plan to kill Miss Kinamore and her unborn child. India posted her final TikTok just days before her death. Smiling, hopeful, completely unaware of what awaited her. Do you think social media makes us blind to red flags because we're so focused on showing the perfect relationship? Because India's killer was starring in every single one of her happy couple posts. Every single woman watching this is thinking the same thing. I would have seen the signs. But India was smart, intuitive, loved by thousands online, and she never saw it coming. I'd love to know why you choose not to subscribe to this channel, because what you're about to learn about her so-called loving boyfriend will make you question everyone in your life. March 4th, 2023. 4:40 a.m. Police lights flash against the walls of Hidden Meadows apartments. Officers rush inside Unit 2304 to find a horrific scene. India Kinamore, 26 years old and 9 months pregnant, lies motionless on her living room floor. Multiple gunshot wounds to her chest. Medical responders pronounce her dead at the scene. Her unborn son Kayvon, scheduled to be delivered that very day, dies with her. Someone broke into India Kinamore's home while she, another person, and a child were inside, the incident report states. The 911 call indicates the shooter entered through the back door. India's 6-year-old son hid during the attack. He heard everything. The first officers describe a scene that offers few immediate clues. No weapon recovered, no clear motive established, no obvious suspects. Days pass, then weeks, then months. The investigation stalls. Tips are coming in, Coleraine Township police tell the media, but arrests remain elusive. India's mother Terry takes custody of her grandson, now traumatized by what he witnessed.
Yeah, that's right, guys. And we spoke with a representative from the Coleraine Township Police Department behind me here who says there's not much that they can say publicly about the case at this point, but he does tell me that investigators in their process, they're moving forward. They're headed in the right direction with this as they continue to follow up on leads. And while that happens, we're hearing from a woman who says she's been a longtime friend of India Kinamore, and she's struggling with the news of her death. It's at the Hidden Meadows apartment complex where officers say they found the body of India Kinamore on Saturday morning around 5 a.m. Kinamore was 26 years old, and police say she was in the late stages of her pregnancy. Her social media posts indicate she may have had just a few weeks left before giving birth, and neither India nor her soon-to-be child survived the shooting. As detectives continue their investigation, we reached out to family and friends to share more about the soon-to-be mother, and a person, only wishing to be identified as a longtime friend, said, quote, India is a beautiful lady in and out. To know India is to love her. Her soul is so pure. Any time you're with her, it's always a good time no matter what. When I lost my cousin, she was the first person to hug me and comfort me. I'm so sad about what happened to her. She didn't deserve this at all. She didn't bother nobody. End quote. Police have yet to arrest India's killer, but insist that their investigation is moving in the right direction, and tips are still coming in. As that's happening, friends continue to share in the memories of the late mother. Her longtime friend sharing this, quote, she was all about her family and best friends, and especially taking care of her boy. I pray that her family can find healing and peace. I know it's going to be hard, but they definitely have some angels protecting them now. End quote.
2 graves at Spring Grove Cemetery mark where India and baby Kayvon rest together. March 18th, 2023. 2 weeks after the murders, Kayvon Warren posts on social media, I miss you both so much. Can't believe you're gone. My heart is broken beyond repair. Photos of him and India together. Ultrasound images. Memories of the life they supposedly planned. Friends comment with heart emojis and prayers. No one questions his grief. The apartment complex surveillance system captured audio from that night. Not a video of the killer, but something equally chilling. On the videotape from the surveillance from the apartment, you can hear my child screaming every time she got shot, Terry Kinamore would later tell the court. A mother's final moments, evidence that would eventually help break the case. For 2 years, India's family lived in limbo. Justice delayed, questions unanswered. For 2 years, 3 men walked free. One even attended India's funeral, comforting her mother while knowing the truth. For 2 years, a perfect crime remained unsolved, until digital footprints revealed what witnesses couldn't see. Every woman who's ever had a man try to control her pregnancy just felt chills down their spine. If you've ever been pressured about reproductive choices, you understand why this story matters. Like and share this video now, because what India's mother revealed in court will change how you think about the men in your life forever. I need your raw, honest opinion in the comments. If a man doesn't want a baby, does that give him any right to pressure termination? Because Kayvon's answer to that question got 2 people killed. But the evidence gets even more disturbing when you hear what each conspirator's role actually was. August 21st, 2025. More than 2 years after India's murder, Coleraine Township police announce a breakthrough. 3 men charged with 2 counts of murder each. The evidence that broke the case? The invisible digital trail they left behind. This was a long, complex investigation. Assistant Prosecutor David Hickenlooper told the court. Cell phone communications between the 3 defendants revealed a conspiracy. Text messages, call logs, location data, the digital shadows people forget they cast. Investigators tracked phones moving near the crime scene in the early morning hours of March 4th, 2023. They recovered deleted messages discussing what prosecutors called a plan to kill Miss Kinamore and her unborn child. 3 names emerged from the investigation. Kayvon Warren, 30. India's boyfriend, father of her unborn child. Robert Irvin, 20. The alleged coordinator whose vehicle was tracked near the scene. Lamar Morris Suggs, 22. The alleged gunman, already serving time on unrelated weapons charges. 3 men connected by digital evidence, now connected by identical charges. 2 counts of murder. The motive shocked even veteran investigators. The evidence that has been uncovered was that he wanted her to terminate that pregnancy, but she refused. Prosecutors revealed about Kayvon Warren. When India refused and embraced motherhood, investigators say Warren made a deadly choice. Not to accept fatherhood, but to eliminate it entirely. The timing was calculated with cold precision. India was scheduled for induction on March 4th, 2023. Her baby boy would have been born that day. Instead, prosecutors allege Warren left the apartment door unlocked for his co-conspirators. The murder occurred just hours before India would have gone to the hospital to deliver Kiran. A birthday transformed into a death date. The arrests came suddenly in August 2025. Warren and Irvin were taken to Hamilton County Justice Center, each held on $600,000 bond. Suggs was already incarcerated on separate charges. For India's family, the news brought mixed emotions. Relief that suspects were identified, pain at learning the alleged betrayal came from within India's inner circle. I thought that Kayvon was a nice, upstanding gentleman, Terry Kinamore told reporters after the arrests. He turned out to be the complete opposite, a monster, because only a monster would do something like that. The digital evidence revealed what human eyes missed. Messages deleted, but never truly gone. Location data placing phones at critical locations. The electronic trail that eventually led to 3 arrests. Should police be able to track anyone's phone without permission if it means solving cases like this? Because those cell phone records are the only reason India's family got justice. But the most sickening part wasn't the conspiracy itself. It was discovering why the father of her baby wanted them both dead.
I never gave up. There was a lot of people that just thought that this case would never be solved. And I have faith in God. I know that God can do anything.
A grieving mother sits next to her daughter and unborn grandson's grave. In the beginning, Terry Kinamore says it was hard for her to visit. Now she says it feels a little bit lighter.
Now, I'm able to come back and tell her that the people that did this to her, they have been caught and justice will be served.
Coleraine Township Police announced last week 3 people have been charged with the murder of India Kinamore and her unborn child, Robert Irvin, Lamar Morris Suggs, and Kayvon Warren.
I just don't know why someone would want to do something like that. Not to just one person, but 2 people.
Terry says Warren is the child's father. He and India had been in a relationship for a couple of years. The other two suspects, Terry says she had never met.
I thought that Kayvon was a nice, upstanding gentleman. And he turned out to be a complete opposite, a monster. Because only a monster would do something like this.
The shooting happened at an apartment complex on Hidden Meadows Drive, according to Coleraine police, but a motive is still unknown. Kinamore, Terry says, was due to deliver baby Kyron within hours of being killed.
She couldn't wait to have him and to meet him and hold him, and she never got that chance. And he never got that chance to feel his mother's arms around him and to hear, "I love you."
Terry says Warren's lack of concern about the status of the investigation was always a red flag.
And to come and find out that you had something to do with it, that's a slap in the face. That's a slap in the face. You never really cared. You couldn't have cared.
The Hamilton County courtroom fell silent as Terry Kinamore approached the podium, her voice steady despite the weight of her words. "My name is Terry Kinamore. I'm India's mother." She faced the men accused of killing her daughter and unborn grandson. 2 years of grief channeled into this moment. She was scheduled to be induced that morning, Terry told the court. She never got that chance. He never got that chance to feel his mother's arms around him and to hear, "I love you." Her testimony described the night that changed everything. The frantic call from her 6-year-old grandson, the rush to the apartment, the devastating news upon arrival. "For 2 years, I've been raising my grandson who witnessed his mother's murder while these men walked free." When asked about the investigation, Terry's response became the case's defining quote. "I never gave up. There were a lot of people that just thought this case would never be solved, but I have faith in God." Her unwavering belief in justice sustained her through 2 years of uncertainty. 2 years of visiting her daughter's grave while her killers remained unidentified.
I would like to ask for either a high bond or no bond. They were in a relationship. He killed his own son or plotted to kill his own son. He's been out for 2 years while this investigation is going on, while my daughter and his grandson are resting in a grave. I don't think he should see the light of day until this case is solved. That's what I would ask of this court.
The Cincinnati community rallied around India's family. Memorial services drew hundreds. Friends planted trees in her memory at Spring Grove Cemetery. "India is a beautiful lady in and out," one friend told local news. "To know India is to love her. Her soul is so pure." Neighbors at Hidden Meadows Apartments created a memorial site where people left flowers, cards, and stuffed animals for weeks after the murder. At the center of this tragedy, a 6-year-old boy who lost his mother and baby brother in one night. The child who called his grandmother saying, "My mommy has been shot. Somebody is in our house shooting, and my mommy is screaming." Now in Terry's care, he faces the long journey of healing from trauma no child should experience. In the courtroom, the legal battle began in earnest. Comment with your gut reaction. Should that 6-year-old have to testify in court about what he witnessed, or would that traumatize him further? Because justice for his mom might depend on his testimony. Judge William Matthews set bond at $600,000 each for Warren and Irvin, citing the level of violence and cruelty of the crime. Warren's attorney, Clyde Bennett, argued for a lower bond, highlighting his client's full-time employment and lack of criminal record. He knew he was wanted for murder. "He didn't flee the jurisdiction," Bennett stated. "He's in a guilty by association situation." The prosecution painted a different picture. The evidence shows the defendants coming up with this plan to kill Miss Kinamore and her unborn child. Assistant Prosecutor David Hickenlooper told the court. He emphasized the calculated nature of the crime, the timing on India's induction day, the coordination between the 3 men, and the digital evidence linking them to the conspiracy. As the legal process continues, the contrast between courtroom arguments and human loss remains stark. Technical legal terms versus a grandmother's grief. Bond amounts versus a child's trauma. Evidence exhibits versus 2 lives cut short. The pursuit of justice moves forward. But for Terry Kinamore and her grandson, nothing can restore what was taken on March 4th, 2023. A child lost his mother and brother in one night, while a grandmother lost her daughter and grandson. Right now, someone watching this is in a relationship with a person capable of this level of betrayal. The 3 signs India missed are still destroying families today. Subscribe now, because recognizing these patterns before it's too late isn't just smart, it's survival. But here's what haunts India's family the most, and what should terrify every parent watching. India's social media tells a different story when viewed through the lens of hindsight. Her August 2022 TikTok, "I didn't want another child, but accepted it due to TMH's plans." What seemed like a journey from reluctance to acceptance now reveals something more complex. A woman embracing motherhood, while her partner allegedly plotted to end it. The maternity photo shoot takes on a chilling quality now. Kayvon's hand on India's belly. His smile for the camera. The carefully coordinated outfits and shades of blue for their baby boy. A performance of fatherly pride, while prosecutors allege he was already considering a permanent solution to his unwanted responsibility. He wanted her to terminate that pregnancy, prosecutors stated in court. When India chose life for their son, naming him Kiran and preparing for his arrival, Kayvon allegedly chose a different path, one that would eliminate both mother and child. The contrast between his public face and private intentions creates a disturbing portrait of deception. India's posts show no awareness of danger, no fear, no suspicion of the man who shared her life and fathered her child. "Found my person," she wrote beneath a photo with Kayvon just months before her death. Her trust in him was complete. Her excitement about their future family is genuine. Her vulnerability exploited in the most devastating way possible. What type of person can maintain such a facade? Experts in criminal psychology point to several concerning traits. The ability to compartmentalize emotions, to present a convincing public persona while harboring violent intentions, to manipulate those closest to them. The capacity to attend a baby shower while allegedly planning to prevent that baby's birth indicates a profound disconnection from normal human empathy.
Hello.
Man, I think me and you need some space, man.
Space? What you mean, like space or space?
Space as in separate.
Okay, well, you can go in the living room and I go in the other room. What you talking about?
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about seeing other people. Like, meet other people.
Okay, then, you want to meet other people?
Yup.
You want to meet other people?
Yup.
Okay, I tell you what then. You can meet God, and I'm going to go meet the judge. Them not only doggone people, you going to meet somebody here with me. You with me until you die, okay?
The warning signs exist in retrospect, but they're subtle. Kayvon's limited appearance in India's later pregnancy videos, his focus on his other children in his own social media, the contrast between India's excitement and his measured responses, the timing of certain phone calls and messages now linked to the conspiracy. None of these alone would raise alarm. Together, they form a pattern visible only after tragedy struck. For viewers, India's story offers critical lessons about relationship safety. Trust your instincts when something feels wrong. Pay attention when words and actions don't align. Notice when someone's enthusiasm doesn't match a significant life event. Be aware that pregnancy can escalate controlling behavior in dangerous partners. The most concerning warning sign is often the absence of appropriate emotion. Not what's there, but what's missing. The most dangerous predators hide in plain sight, often in the role of protector. What seemingly normal behavior might actually be a warning sign. Share this video. Your friend's perspective might reveal what you can't see from the inside.
I ain't got no leash, but put this around your neck since you want to be a dog so bad. So I can walk you. And yeah, give me that card. Thank you. No, the other one. The black one. Yeah.
The Hamilton County Justice Center, August 22nd, 2025. Kayvon Warren and Robert Irvin appear before the judge in yellow jumpsuits. The third accused, Lamar Morris Suggs, remains in state prison on separate charges. The courtroom buzzes with tension as prosecutors outline their case, a conspiracy allegedly orchestrated by the man who should have protected India and their unborn son. Each defendant's role emerges through court documents. Kayvon Warren, the alleged mastermind who prosecutors say wanted her to terminate that pregnancy, and left the door open for his co-conspirators on the morning of the scheduled induction. Robert Irvin, the alleged coordinator whose cell phone and vehicle were tracked near the crime scene. His defense attorney claims he has no ties to the victim and is guilty by association. Honest question. Do you think Robert Irvin deserves the same punishment as the actual gunman? Because just being the lookout helped kill a mother and baby. Lamar Morris Suggs, the alleged gunman, already serving time on weapons charges, identified through phone communications with the other defendants. The legal process continues. Pre-trial hearings, evidence motions, the slow machinery of justice grinding toward trial. If convicted, each defendant faces life imprisonment for the 2 murder counts, one for India, one for baby Kieran. Last question for the comments, and this one's important. Do you think Kayvon Warren deserves the death penalty, or is life in prison enough? Because your answer reveals everything about how seriously we take violence against pregnant women. Prosecutors build their case on digital evidence, surveillance audio, and the calculated timing of the crime. Defense attorneys challenge the evidence, question the conspiracy theory, and maintain their client's innocence. For India's family, each court date brings both pain and purpose, the chance to see justice served. Subscribe and share this video, because the life you save by spreading awareness might be someone you love. And if you've learned something that could protect your family, you owe it to India's memory to pass it on. We extend our prayers to the family of India Kinamore. We hope you finally get the justice you deserve. I can't promise you that you will never face betrayal, but I can promise you that by staying informed, you can spot the red flags a little sooner. Are you with us, or are you on your own? And if you choose to not subscribe, let us know in the comments why you would ever want to walk away from a true crime community dedicated to a safer world. Thank you for watching till the end. Until our next episode, stay safe.